wild boar crisis is one of the most underestimated challenges facing the United States today. And to the casual observer, a wild hog might just look like another animal wandering the countryside. But to those who live in rural communities, farm the land, or work in wildlife management, these animals represent something far more serious. A destructive force that is reshaping ecosystems, devastating agriculture, and costing billions of dollars every single year. According to estimates from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, wild boars cause more than $2.5 billion in damages annually. And these losses are not limited to crops alone, as entire irrigation systems are torn apart overnight, fences and barns destroyed, and pastures left unrecognizable after herds of hogs root through the soil. Farmers, who already face the crushing weight of rising fuel prices, equipment costs, and labor shortages, often describe the presence of wild boars as nothing less than a nightmare, since a single herd moving through a cornfield can undo months of backbreaking work in just a few hours. What makes this crisis so difficult to manage lies in the biology of the animals themselves. Because unlike many native species of wildlife that reproduce seasonally, wild boars are prolific breeders year-round. A single female sow can produce 2 litters per year, with each litter containing anywhere from 4 to 12 piglets, which means a single pair of wild hogs can multiply into dozens within just a year or two. And when multiplied by the millions already spread across the United States, it becomes clear why population control feels nearly impossible. On top of their explosive reproduction, wild boars are highly intelligent and extraordinarily adaptable, being nocturnal creatures that move mostly under the cover of darkness, leading farmers in Texas, Florida, and across the Southeast to describe them as ghosts of the night, appearing suddenly, destroying entire fields, and disappearing before dawn. They learn from hunting pressure, quickly changing their movement patterns, avoiding traps, and traveling miles to find new sources of food and water. Today, the wild boar population in the United States is estimated at more than 6 million, and continues to rise, spreading from the south to nearly every region of the country. including California, Oregon, the Midwest, and even the Northeast, proving that they are no longer just a regional nuisance, but a nationwide ecological and agricultural threat. The U.S. government has not ignored the issue, with programs like the USDA's National Feral Swine Damage Management Program, dedicating millions each year to research, advanced trapping systems, aerial hunting operations, and partnerships with private landowners. While state wildlife agencies have joined the fight by encouraging regulated hunting to help reduce numbers, yet despite these efforts, the population continues to grow, with new counties reporting sightings every year and eradication efforts failing to keep pace with reproduction. For farmers, the crisis is deeply personal, as this isn't just about statistics or government reports, it's about survival. Imagine investing thousands of dollars and months of labor into a soybean field, only to wake up and discover half of it rooted up and destroyed overnight, or raising cattle only to find their water sources contaminated by feral swine waste. And in some regions, ranchers are forced to shoot dozens of hogs in a single night just to protect their livestock. The psychological strain is just as heavy as the financial burden, with farmers living in constant anxiety, knowing that even with modern defenses, a single night can wipe out an entire season's work. And one Texas rancher described it best: "You don't sleep easy during harvest season. Every rustle outside, every noise, you think it's them." The damage caused by wild boars, however, is not limited to agriculture, as ecologists warn that feral hogs are devastating natural ecosystems at an alarming rate. Their rooting behavior destroys native plant life, accelerates soil erosion, and contaminates waterways, while they prey on ground-nesting birds, amphibians, reptiles, and even fawns, disrupting natural food chains. In wetlands, they're constant. Wallowing and rooting can completely transform the landscape, turning once healthy ecosystems into muddy wastelands. Worse still, wild hogs are carriers of numerous diseases that can spread to both livestock and humans, including swine brucellosis, pseudorabies, and foot-and-mouth disease, and in some states, outbreaks linked to feral swine have threatened entire cattle and poultry industries, creating ripple effects far beyond individual farms. The question then becomes, what is the solution? Experts argue that there is no single silver bullet, since hunting, while helpful, cannot solve the problem on its own. Studies show that to keep wild boar populations stable, not even reduce them, roughly 70% of the population must be removed every single year, and recreational hunting simply cannot achieve this level of control. This is why integrated approaches are becoming the standard, with trapping, aerial control via helicopters, and coordinated eradication campaigns involving both private landowners and government agencies proving more effective. Some regions are experimenting with advanced technologies like drone surveillance to detect nighttime movements, smart traps that use sensors and cameras to alert farmers when an entire herd is inside, reducing the chance of catching only a few and even toxic baits, though the latter remain controversial due to environmental risks.
If you'll enjoy this video, please like and subscribe my channel for more information.